This is the Mount Rushmore chosen by Real and Wills. KSI, Jake, Mams, True Jordy. Your thoughts? What do you think? Is this a good Mount Rushmore?
I was thinking about this too. I can't be mad at this one
Mhm.
because I understand what he's saying, right? Because you have like you have Jake and KSI.
Yeah,
No brainers.
of course.
But then like the other fighters, I think it's like tough not to put just fighters, but other fighters.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, should they be up there? Should they like Jake and KSI? It's like, yes, they should.
Yeah.
Then you get like Logan and Gibb. You know, do you say Deji? Then you have Joel Theo. No, okay. Then you get into this whole, I don't know, should they be there?
Yeah.
You know, they would clearly be on the Jake and KSI than the other two.
Yeah.
But then you have True Jordy, right? Which in the beginning,
important, super important
in the storytelling in the very beginning, which is made so much of influencer boxing, right? From the OG. But then again, it's like he wasn't a fighter, so it's tough.
You have to on the Mount Rushmore. I don't think so. Here's the thing. My opinion is you don't have to put everybody on the Mount Rushmore that you go without them. Would it be here? Because if that's the case,
right,
you're putting Theo and Joe on it, and they contributed to birthing this scene, and they are the OGs of OGs.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But they are also not the reason it has grown to this level.
Correct.
So it's like, So I mean, let's do our own 4 here, bro.
And we didn't say.
Should we do the same thing that they did?
I don't know what they did.
Should we keep a manager? Should we keep a commentator? Or should we just go all fighters? Like, how are we doing it?
Man, it's tough. Because like with Mams, though, I need to think about this, though. With Mams and Misfits, I think, came after, and it's a separation of what Jake did. So, like, it was like the second tier of influencer boxing.
The second wave, yeah.
The second wave, you know? But it's obviously so important to be able to, there's so many things that influencer boxing that are not Jake Paul that happened was Misfits, you know?
Yeah, Prime Card, KSI's back.
But man, that's
all
tough.
This good stuff. All right, well, let's start with, we're both going to keep Jake and KSI.
Yeah.
Got to. I feel like Logan has to be up there, dude.
I know. To me, Logan got to be. Because the initial, like, beef was KSI and then, like, KSI and Logan. Right? It wasn't KSI and Jake. It was KSI and Logan. And that was the peak.
And as far as the social numbers, you could argue, like you said, the peak. That's the perfect way to put it. The peak of what influencer boxing was, the peak viewership, the peak interest was that.
And again, I think what happens is you look at it right now. You're like, well, Logan's not fighting. He's doing it. But you can't look at it right now. Like, you go back then. Logan Paul. So, Logan Paul's up there. 100%.
Got to be up there.
Now is the 4th.
The 4th horseman. Are you okay with Mams Taylor and True Jordy? Like, let's just say, are you okay with Mams Taylor being up there and not a guy like Liam Chivers?
That makes a lot of sense.
You got to think about like Liam, and I'm not doing this because, I think Mams has done phenomenal work for the scene.
Yeah.
Without him, we don't have Misfits. Without him, we don't have all these events that we have now. Massive. But without Liam, we don't get Logan Paul KSI 1.
Yeah.
Without Liam, we probably don't get a lot of this stuff that's happened. Gibbs' introduction to the scene.
Yeah.
Deji as well. Being able to run that first event, work with the zone. I mean, me personally, I don't get into the scene at all without Liam, if we're being dead honest about it. Liam was the guy that gave my information to the Showstar guys.
Yeah, he was the mover, man. He was
moving and shaking.
Yeah.
So if we're going to put a manager up there, I know that Mams runs his own promotion, so it's tough because Misfits is such a dominant force in space right now.
Yeah, you say Misfits, yeah.
But you can also say that KSI is the reason for that. You can credit Misfits to KSI.
This is what I'm saying. I have a hard time, just in general, not putting a fighter up there. Like.
What do you mean not putting a fighter up there?
Like,
you have a hard time leaving a fighters, like just making it all fighters?
Yeah. I mean, because I'm trying to.
Well, Let's
Like,
do a
it's
couple
just
of them then. Let's do a couple of them. Let's do an all-fighter Mount Rushmore. Go.
KSI, Logan, Jake, and then I think it's
What do
got
you
to
do
be
for number
Gib.
4?
I think it's got to be Gib. I don't know. I can't think of Gib
Gibb's the
or
other guy. I mean, you could put Deji, but I think
I was gonna
Gibb.
say like Gib or Deji, but when you're talking about the totality of it all,
Who's been a bigger part of the story? Both of them fought Jake.
Yeah.
Gibbs had the better statistical career after.
Right. But Gib with the whole social gloves too, like man, and even like
Yeah,
Kingpin for
going
his
back
first
and
hit.
beating Austin on his own event.
Yeah, like he's done a lot of things too. Like if you take him out, but it's tough. Like take Deji, it's like who do you got to look at? I think you got to think of it in a subtracting kind of way. Like, okay, which one, if you take out, had the biggest impact on influencer boxing? So I'm like, that's why I'm like, you can't take out Logan and put Mams in or True Jordy in. Can't. That's not the same. Can't take out KSI or Jake. So it's like, now, would you like with like Mams or True Jordy, if you take out Deji or if you take out Gib, I'm like, fighters of that magnitude at that time, it's not the same.
Yeah. Like, so I feel like commentators being on it is tough because they're important, but they weren't crucial.
Right. Because Gib would still be there. You know what I'm saying?
The fights would have still happened if True Jordy and Laws don't call
you
the
replace
first
Gib. You know what I mean? I don't know if you replace, but it's like Deji was tough.
Deji had a higher spot on that first card.
He did.
And then Gib had a higher spot after. So it's like,
but it was just Deji had that. It was obviously the Jake moment.
The Jake moment. He also main evented with Alex Wasabi.
Right. But it was a big plummet and then a re-rise.
But can you say the plummet is also a big moment? The Vinny moment is a big moment.
Yeah, was a big moment. And obviously his whole like wanting to see Deji win was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
He did. When he got that first win, it was
crazy. That story that like
But Gib also had a big moment on that same card.
That's why to me it's between those two. It's not. I can't think of it.
I'll put fighters wise, I'll go with your 3, and then I'll put man, it's so tough.
It's so tough between those two.
I'll put Gib on there.
Yeah.
I'll put Gib on there.
I'm gonna say, oh man, it's so tough between those two. It's so tough because like
Deji's story is a lot more nostalgic though, for sure.
Right, because like you had the brothers versus brothers thing. You take because you have to take one out.
You have to keep Deji.
If you take not just like which story which was better, but like if you take Deji out of the equation,
it doesn't happen that way.
No, because you have the whole like brother thing, and then you have the feud with KSI and Deji, and you have Deji's
Walmart doesn't happen.
Right,
freaking press conferences don't happen.
Right, like and then
like you said, the Deji KSI family feud probably doesn't happen.
Right, all so important to KSI's story. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Deji might have to jump that one.
Like it's so hard to take one out, and it's like, can we, if we take, like, do we get the same peak? Is what I'm saying. The peak, right?
Probably not. Yeah.
Do we get the same peak without Deji? Do we get the same peak without Gib? But if Deji's there, because that was the start was the
probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably, yeah. So Deji,
and
probably
it's like, you know what I mean? Because Gib still did so much, though. Gibbs did so much, but in terms of like peak of influencer boxing, and Deji fought Floyd. So,
true.
Like,
it's that I think Deji. Yeah. Now that you think about it, it's got to be probably Dej. The four that everybody has always put at the top of the thing has been the two brothers from both sides.
And also Deji's been able because he's a part of the storyline. Like Deji does anything good, like boxing wise, and it's like, boom, right? Because of how important he is, bro.
Facts. You know? Now, if we did a separate one, let's do a non-fighter because I think this is more interesting than trying to mix the two.
Non-fighter,
Mount Rushmore.
Jordy.
Yep, gotta be.
And you made a great point with Liam, dude. Stealing that.
It's gotta be, right? Like
Liam's gotta be
Chivers.
Mams. Yeah, Liam.
Mams can be on there, I think, after that. Who's number 4? I'm trying to think of people involved that are not fighters.
I would say Viddal Riley. I don't even know, dude. That's not like.
I mean, to be fair, he coached JJ, Gib, and JMX.
Yeah.
And
Like,
edgy
especially
to a certain degree, you know, and then not really, but then that's part of it.
as part of it. Because, like, when you're talking about, like, coaches being a part of the storyline,
Vidal is for sure
you
the
know,
name that comes to mind. Yeah.
and, like, the the arc of KSI is so tied to Vidal,
Yeah.
and his growth and him as a fighter and their storylines and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't think of it as another and his voice has been so important to the scene as well. Like,
Yeah.
what does Vidal have to say,
Yep.
about KSI or whatever it is going on?
It's a good pick.
Um, you know what I mean? I'm like, "Ah, man, it's not the same. If let's say you have a different coach, you know what I'm saying? That isn't
How
the
does it work?
personality,
Exactly. Yeah.
isn't the personality that Vidal is. And also Vidal as a fighter as well, it's a different thing because he's not just a coach.
Yep.
So like it was like he was the back and forth between Vidal and Shannon Briggs and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Those
even
are
the
insane.
in the Jake and Vidal potential fight and him
Yeah.
calling out Vidal type deal. And
And how
he was
young he was too. He was so
young
young at
guy,
the time.
go-to guy too for like he trained so many fighters, like you said. So if it's not Vidal, is it the same?
It's
Because
hard to
he's a
think.
young, like he's like you said, he's a young guy, one of the guys, but
Yep.
dangerous. And the way the guys were like, oh, dude, he's still a fighter. He can be a world champion one day. You know what I mean? I don't know. That to me, I'm like, if you take Vidal out,
Does
well,
JJ get to where he is? Does he
is this
awaken
the
that kind of
stories
does he even get that interested in boxing without it? Does he
right?
pick it up in that first session and go, I
And
don't
that
know
was
if I
with
want to do
Gibb,
this?
he started training Gibb, you know what I
That's what
mean?
I'm
So we're
saying.
talking, yeah,
Do we even get to where we're at? That's true. That's a good pick. So we would put Mams, Liam, Vidal, and True Jordy. I like that. That's probably
I
the
think
best
with
way to put
those,
it.
you take any of them out, the story's not the
It
same.
doesn't. That's 0 people from the U.S. But to be honest, if we're really being honest about it, the U.S. side of the scene has been dominated by the fighters. There hasn't been.
Right. It was Logan and Jake.
That's what I'm saying. There hasn't been like a manager that's like, yes, Jake and Logan's managers have helped, and they have been an integral part in this as well.
Yeah.
But specifically the influencer side, because Logan and Jake do these now. Jake's doing professional and Logan doing one-offs.
Influencer boxing scene was a UK thing.
It was a UK base and still
then
is, to be fair.
ASI called out the American boys.
Apparently our contributions to the scene being recognized by one Rylan
Better
Wells.
talk
I love
about
the
me
graphic
nicely
you
now.
put there,
I just
Christian.
put Vidal on the Mount Rushmore.
I was
Better
gonna
talk about
say,
me
hopefully
nicely now.
there's no disrespect on the
Oh,
name.
they said coaches. Why they got me as a coach? It's not going to be good, dude. They said, listen, I already could tell. I was
Oh
never a
no, they have
coach.
you as a coach?
They're
Wait.
going to be like, it's a coach, and then they're going to
No, they
speak
don't
the
have you
truth.
as a coach. They have you as
Okay,
miscellaneous.
it's a miscellaneous. Got it. I
Yeah,
was
come
gonna
on
say,
now.
dude.
Oh, we didn't even
I
think
was
about
like, oh,
Keemstar either.
no.
Damn, Keem's not gonna like that. Here we go.
We spoke about Keem.
Mm-hmm.
Wade. Now Wade can argue his spot as much as Mams can argue his spot on the Mount Rushmore.
Ours.
Not because he's funded people like that, but because when no one cared about the scene, he stayed hot. He kept it.
Like Wade being very has played a very big part in the scene.
Very big part in the scene.
Loves the scene, cares for the scene, wants the scene grow. So he's done a lot for the scene. He's educated a lot of people that don't understand boxing, don't understand the scene and whatnot.
For real. And what show has he not worked on? Like, that's true. What company?
Yeah,
network,
he's been around the place.
He's been on it. Kingpin done that.
Look at this
MVP
right here.
doing that.
Yeah.
Misfits done that.
This.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't missed. He's been the guy.
Yeah.
People wanted him for commentary.
Yeah,
Showstar wanted him
from
for
commentary
commentary.
to great ideas, production wise, content wise. He's a G.
Brought me through on a couple
G.
things. He said, "I want to do commentary, but how come you ain't asked Viddal?" Couple of times he's done that and brought man through on a few opportunities. So I always hold Wade in high regard for that,
of course,
because a next man not if I do that for a next man. Yeah, but I don't know. Let's see the next list.
I appreciate that, man. I wanna make sure we acknowledge that. That is super, super fun and humbling to hear from those guys, bro. Those are my fucking guys right there.
Dude, it's awesome.
I will never put myself on any list ever for any of this stuff.
If we do it, it's like, bro, it's
because one, I understand the importance of what I am and what those people are. This is why we put Viddal Riley on our list, not because he's our boy, but because we understand the importance of what he brought.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. That meant a lot. I appreciate that. Let's get to Sensei. You said 29 something, Christian, right? Let me get to it.
Yeah, Austin. Shout out to Austin. He
tried twice.
He did try twice.
Yeah,
he tried, but
and gave some good fights.
I'm not starting on him no more because people don't like us starting on Sensei.
That's big up Sensei.
You have to big up.
You know why? Because, but see, when you first started training JJ, I didn't know who JJ was. I didn't know who KSI was. I knew the lyric from Chipmunk. You're not KSI.
When he was talking Bugsy.
No, when he's cussing P Money.
Oh, P Money.
That green Lambo's not yours.
Yeah. You're not KSI.
Yeah, you're not KSI. That's the only KSI I heard. Then bam.
Things grow.
So then Sensei flew over.
I didn't know these guys. I didn't know what FaZe Clan was. I didn't know what Sensei he was a Sensei of.
I knew FaZe Clan because I used to play Call of Duty.
Okay. And I know they're big on the game. Later on, I found out. But before that, I'm like, FaZe Clan, I don't know what's going on here. But he flew over and he was the first, like, JJ, you got this. I'm supporting you. He was that guy. I can't lie. He was like the unwritten assistant to our coaching.
And it was slightly at the time sort of USA versus UK as well.
It was.
And he was riding for the UK.
Yeah, and he didn't care. He flew over.
Yeah.
And he helped out a guy. So I do give Sensei his props. And I want to look in the camera and say, just because I think Sensei shouldn't fight no more, whatever, doesn't mean I don't respect this guy as a person and what he's done to help me, help Lee, help the community. That is facts. And I stand on business when I say that. I just don't think he should fight anymore. But anyway.
I have no argument there. I have no argument. I agree. I try to stop fighting, but people won't
they just keep,
you know what I mean?
Pulling you back.
I don't think, and anybody who's my coach also, he's talking as a coach.
Yeah.
You know what coaches are. Like I ran into my old football coach. He's like, why are you still playing football? You shouldn't be playing football. You know what I mean? Right. It's the same thing. He's a fighter. He trains fighters. You shouldn't be fighting because he knows that I go into the gym every single day. Right? Yeah. So that part I understand. But that's dope. It's good.
That's dope, man. It's good to see the guys, man, recognize what you are in the scene. I don't think people, because it's been such a long time, and we tend to forget how much you played a part in this as well.
Yeah.
From, like they said, helping out, but also instilling confidence in people that didn't know how to be confident in combat sports.
Yeah.
You, Viddal, Leon, were people that they looked to. KSI looked to. Deji looked to. Gib looked to for a bit of validation to be like, am I doing this right? Am I getting better?
Yeah, let's beat up Sensei.
That was a big part of what you did.
See where I'm at. Let's bring Sensei in. Let's see where I'm
legitimately, though. Like,
no, for real.
There, and they're able to hang with the FaZe Sensei. It's like, okay, we got something here. And then when you're also there, giving them that same confidence and through your words, through your actions, and like V said, you're standing on business with Team UK when it was supposed to be UK versus US. Facts. Because of the relationships you built. That's what people don't get, is when you build a relationship with FaZe Sensei, that's like this, and he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and I wasn't there. I think too what helped. I wasn't there like because I was essentially at that time a brand new YouTuber, but I was never really a YouTuber. I never was. You know what I mean? Like I uploaded YouTube videos. But like being like a full on YouTuber, I never really was. So I didn't bring the same energy.
Yeah.
So I think it was like a nice relief to have someone who wasn't just like, trying.
You were a real dude, a real guy.
Yeah.
I think that's what people don't see about you, is they see the YouTube thing, but that's just, you are just you. You're playing Madden 5 minutes before you were recording.
Well,
you're going to play Madden tonight. You're going to go and do your Sensei stuff. Like,
yeah, I got belt graduation in 3 hours, belt testing.
That's what I'm saying. This is what's so awesome.
80 to 100 kids testing.
W.
New ranks. First test of the new year. Preparation.
W.
My wife's been going crazy today.
She's been planning.
Yeah, we're excited.
Let's go. I gotta get back in the gym so I can get my, you know what I'm saying? We gotta level up. Me and Christian gotta level up our white belts, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, we gotta step it up. Come on, man.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the